What if I told you Apple's AI is about to get a serious upgrade, one that could outsmart everything we've seen before? That's right, the M4 chip is rumored to be at the core of a revolutionary leap in Apple's AI cloud computing, promising faster performance, smarter interactions, and features we've only dreamed of. But that's not all. Apple is already laying the groundwork with iOS 18.2, public beta updates, and futuristic hardware advancements. In this video, we'll dive deep into how the M4 chip will transform Apple's AI capabilities, what it means for your everyday devices, and why this move could put Apple miles ahead of its competition. Plus, we'll break down other exciting updates, like new iOS features and the potential of AI-powered Apple Watches. We will also discuss why Apple's AI waitlist has people buzzing, and how some features are raising serious questions. Stick around. By the end, you'll know exactly what to expect from the next era of Apple technology. Welcome to TechAIology, your go-to source for the latest on AI and tech. If you're passionate about keeping up with groundbreaking innovations and how they'll shape our digital lives, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the updates that will keep you ahead of the curve, especially as we dive into these game-changing Apple features. So, Apple just launched the public beta for iOS 18.2, and it's packed with some seriously intriguing upgrades. If you're one of those people who loves testing out the latest Apple Intelligence features, there's an important heads-up you need to hear. With this release, Apple's rolled out some powerful new image features like Genmoji, Image Playground, and Image Wand, but there's a catch. Just because you're ready to dive in doesn't mean you'll get instant access. Apple's put a waitlist on these tools, and the reason might surprise you. When Apple introduced the first wave of Apple Intelligence in iOS 18.1, users also had to join a waitlist for access to the AI features. But here's the good news, in most cases, the wait wasn't too long. Fast forward to iOS 18.2, and we're seeing the same approach, but this time the focus is on those image tools. Apple's made it super easy to request access. After you install the beta, just open the Image Playground app or the Genmoji tool from your emoji keyboard and hit Request Access. From there, it's all in Apple's hands. Now, here's where things get interesting. Unlike with iOS 18.1, this wait might be longer than you'd expect. In fact, Apple's hinted that it could be several weeks before you see the full capabilities of these image tools. So why the delay? What's Apple waiting for? It's actually all about Apple's commitment to what it calls responsible AI. We've all heard the stories. AI image tools from other companies have been used to create deceptive deepfakes, offensive or inappropriate images, and even harmful content. Apple is determined not to let its technology fall into the same trap. That's why they're rolling out access slowly, collecting feedback, and monitoring the tools to make sure they're used as intended and that they work reliably. According to Apple, design with care means taking every precaution from start to finish, in designing, model training, feature development, and ongoing evaluation. They're proactively listening to user feedback and constantly refining their tools to minimize any chance of misuse. And that's at the heart of this iOS 18.2 waitlist. So if you're one of those eager to get a first look, hang tight, there's a solid reason behind the wait. It's Apple's way of ensuring these tools are as safe, responsible, and reliable as possible by the time they reach everyone next month. And when you do finally get access, you'll know you're part of a carefully designed rollout that Apple's working on to get just right. Let us know in the comments, have you already gotten access to these new features? How long was your wait, and what's been your experience so far? We'd love to hear how Apple Intelligence is changing the way you use your iPhone. Now, while we wait to see just how the iOS 18.2 features roll out, Apple's also working on making its other devices smarter, specifically the Apple Watch, which may soon take health tracking to a whole new level. According to a recent report, Apple was just granted a staggering 38 patents, all focused on new ways to embed advanced sensors directly into the band of its devices. This new patent doesn't just focus on a standard watch strap either, it envisions a whole range of wearables that could monitor health metrics, potentially reshaping how we use Apple's devices every day. The technology is fascinating. Apple's patented a stretchable fabric with built-in sensor circuits, meaning it could potentially monitor everything from heart health with electrocardiograms to real-time respiratory and blood pressure tracking. But here's the twist, this design isn't limited to a wristband. Apple's new smart fabric technology could be embedded in headbands, shirts, gloves, or even yoga attire, expanding far beyond what we're used to seeing on a smartwatch. Imagine, Apple could eventually offer wearables across an entire range of athletic or health-focused gear. So, what does this mean for Apple Watch users? While it's possible Apple could introduce brand new wearables, it's more likely these upgrades will debut as a next-gen feature for Apple Watch or perhaps even the Apple Vision Pro. And Apple's always been big on ecosystem integration, so it's no surprise that these sensors might also wirelessly connect with other devices like your iPhone, AirPods, or even your MacBook, offering a seamless experience across Apple's entire lineup. But this isn't Apple's first time experimenting with smart fabric. In fact, Apple's been exploring this concept for years, with patents stretching back to 2019. The goal seems clear: to develop wearable tech that blends effortlessly into our everyday clothes and gear. Yet, this move comes right as Apple tries to bounce back from the lukewarm reception of the Apple Vision Pro. It raises an interesting question: could adding advanced health sensors revive its popularity, or might these additions drive its already high price even higher? And with the Apple Watch already popular, could packing in even more sensors risk overwhelming users, given the wave of AI and sensor overload in recent products? These new health features could definitely change the game. But will they justify the likely hike in price, or could they risk pushing Apple's designs into overkill territory? In the next part of this video, we'll look at what this could mean for Apple's plans to integrate AI even further into our daily lives, and how the rumored M4 chip upgrade might be a crucial piece in powering all these new features. So stick around, there's a lot more to explore. Now, here's what you've been waiting for: Apple's ambitious new plans for Apple Intelligence, and it could be a complete game changer. According to TechAIology, Apple is reportedly in talks with Foxconn, its primary iPhone manufacturing partner, to take its AI infrastructure to the next level by building a fleet of new Apple Intelligence servers in Taiwan. If these plans go forward, they're going to add serious muscle to Apple's AI capabilities. Imagine being able to complete complex tasks with a level of speed and precision we've never seen from Apple before. So, what does this mean for users? More servers mean more processing power, which translates to more powerful Apple Intelligence features for everyday users. Right now, Apple's existing servers rely on the M2 Ultra chip, already one of the most powerful chips Apple's released. But the real excitement comes with rumors that the next wave of servers could use the upcoming M4 chips. We're talking about a huge performance leap here. Leaked Geekbench scores have suggested that the M4 Max, for instance, would blow the M2 Ultra out of the water, which means an upgrade in speed, efficiency, and capability like nothing we've experienced before. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. We still don't know exactly which M4 variant Apple plans to use for these servers. It could be the base M4, the Pro, the Max, or even an Ultra variant that's yet to be announced. Any of these options could offer a considerable performance boost, but if Apple goes with the M4 Max or a new M4 Ultra chip, we're looking at an AI infrastructure that could keep up with the most demanding tasks and rival top competitors like Google and Microsoft in the AI space. But there's one catch: Foxconn is already overloaded with NVIDIA AI servers, so it's still unclear if Foxconn will be able to take on Apple's server demands as well. And without Foxconn's partnership, Apple may have to adjust its plans, potentially slowing down the rollout of new Apple Intelligence capabilities. Why is Apple ramping up its AI infrastructure now? After all, Apple's been notably slow to jump into the AI race compared to companies like OpenAI, which launched ChatGPT to massive popularity last year. But if Apple's aiming to build this new server network, it means the company has big plans to dive deeper into AI-driven features, likely developing even more complex capabilities that require off-device processing. And here's why that matters for you. While Apple's AI tools are designed to run privately, with certain functions happening directly on your device, Apple is also using its servers to handle tasks that need extra processing power. When your iPhone or Mac connects to Apple's private cloud compute, Apple claims that your data remains yours. It's never stored or shared on Apple servers. Instead, the data is processed on the server and then the results are sent back to your device, meaning you get a powerful AI experience without compromising privacy. This is Apple's way of stepping up its AI capabilities while still prioritizing user privacy, a big selling point as concerns around data security continue to grow. And if you haven't noticed many Apple Intelligence features on your iPhone just yet, that's all about to change. Apple's major AI upgrades are packed into the upcoming iOS 18.2 release, which is set for launch in December. This update will introduce features like Genmoji, allowing users to create custom emojis, and Image Playground, an advanced tool for generating images within various apps. And here's a big one: Siri is finally getting a ChatGPT-style upgrade, making it capable of much more sophisticated conversations and tasks. Imagine having a Siri that's not only more responsive but actually useful in ways we've only seen in high-powered AI tools like ChatGPT. So, with iOS 18.2 and Apple's plans to expand its server power, it's clear Apple is doubling down on AI, both on your devices and through its private cloud compute. And this is just the start. With the power of the new M4 chips, and these advanced servers potentially coming online soon, Apple could be positioning itself as a major force in AI development, one that combines convenience, cutting-edge tech, and privacy in ways we haven't seen before. Now let's look at what Apple's competitors are doing in AI and why Apple's unique approach to responsible AI might be the key to standing out in an increasingly crowded market. So far, we've explored how Apple's pushing forward with new servers and sensors to make its devices more intelligent and interconnected. But it turns out, Apple is going even further behind the scenes to power these changes. In a significant move, Apple has developed specialized computers to process certain Apple Intelligence requests privately and securely in the cloud. These private cloud compute or PCC modules are already operating on Apple's powerful M2 Ultra chip. But, in true Apple fashion, they're already planning the next big upgrade, an M4 chip-powered version of PCC modules coming as soon as next year. Now, if you're wondering what this upgrade really means, let's break it down. According to a recent report from TechAIology, Apple is in talks with Foxconn to build entirely new AI servers in Taiwan, specifically designed to handle more advanced Apple Intelligence processing. Why Taiwan? Apple has chosen this location to access the same top-tier engineering talent and R&D resources that serve NVIDIA, one of Foxconn's largest clients. By tapping into this expertise, Apple is strategically positioning itself to ramp up its AI capabilities quickly and effectively. For those unfamiliar, Apple Intelligence operates on a dual processing system that relies on both your device and Apple's PCC modules. Essentially, when your device's onboard language models can't handle a specific request, the system offloads that task to Apple's PCC. And here's the standout feature. Apple claims that every PCC process is done with end-to-end encryption, meaning that personal data sent to these modules is only accessible to you, not even Apple itself can view it. Apple describes this private cloud compute as the most advanced security architecture ever deployed for cloud AI compute at scale, combining the power of custom silicon with an OS built entirely around privacy. So why all the investment in these upgrades? By powering PCC with M4 chips, Apple isn't just making AI faster, it's laying the groundwork for an entirely new level of AI functionality that will be able to keep pace with industry giants, all while maintaining its strict privacy standards. In the next part of our video, we'll dive into what this means for you, the user, especially as Apple gears up to release these new AI-driven features in iOS 18.2. With so many companies rushing to incorporate AI, Apple's unique approach could redefine the relationship between tech, privacy, and user experience. Stick around to see how Apple's blend of high-powered AI and uncompromising privacy is setting it apart in the AI race. So, as we've been talking about Apple's big AI push, let's take a closer look at what's coming in iOS 18.2. Although iOS 18.1 only just launched with Apple's first wave of Apple Intelligence features, the spotlight has already shifted to iOS 18.2, and for good reason. Apple has released iOS 18.2 in public beta, which means you can actually download it now and explore these features ahead of the official December release. But there's a catch, you'll need to join a waitlist if you haven't already. If you're lucky enough to have early access to Apple Intelligence features, you'll be able to dive into iOS 18.2's newest AI tools right away, including the much-anticipated ChatGPT integration and powerful visual intelligence feature. For others, Apple will notify you once your account has access. Let's break down exactly what's in store. First up, we have some truly creative features that expand on Apple's image generation tools, Genmoji, Image Playground, and Image Wand. Genmoji lets you generate custom emojis based on descriptions you give it. You could create a Genmoji based on yourself, your family, or even a celebrity by choosing a photo from your People album. Imagine describing your ideal emoji character and seeing it come to life. Then there's Image Playground, which lets you generate AI images from prompts or even use an existing photo to make your own unique edits. And for those who love sketching ideas, Image One can take a quick doodle from your Notes app and transform it into a realistic, professional-looking image. But the star feature of iOS 18.2 is something that's sure to get AI enthusiasts excited. ChatGPT has officially arrived on the iPhone. You can now test out ChatGPT integration with Siri, making Apple's voice assistant capable of handling far more complex inquiries. Imagine asking Siri an in-depth question, and instead of a brief response, Siri consults ChatGPT to provide a comprehensive answer. Siri will ask permission before doing so, but if you prefer, you can switch this off in settings to have ChatGPT answers delivered automatically whenever you need them. This opens up a world of possibilities for iPhone users who want a smarter, more versatile assistant that can handle detailed questions in real time. And that's not all, Apple is also rolling out Visual Intelligence, an incredibly useful feature exclusive to iPhone 16 models. Using Visual Intelligence, you can point your camera at a restaurant, landmark, or store, and your iPhone will instantly provide you with reviews, background information, or even Google search results. Visual Intelligence takes real-world scanning to another level, detecting text on signs and business cards, and even reading it aloud if you prefer. It can also automatically save phone numbers and addresses directly to your contacts, making everyday interactions more efficient than ever. If you're someone who hates manually entering info from business cards, this feature alone is a game changer. Apple hasn't forgotten about its international audience either. With iOS 18.2, Apple Intelligence now supports localized English for users in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, South Africa, and the UK. Previously, only US English was supported, so this update opens the door for a much wider audience to access these tools in a way that feels native to their region. If you're excited to try out iOS 18.2, joining the beta software program is the way to go. Once you're signed up, you can install the beta right onto your device and be among the first to experience these features firsthand. But keep in mind, Apple Intelligence features are only supported on the iPhone 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, and the latest iPhone 16 lineup. For other devices, you may need to check Apple's compatibility list, which also includes supported iPads and Macs. With iOS 18.2, Apple is doubling down on AI in a way that could redefine what we expect from our devices. The addition of ChatGPT, the expansion of image generation tools, and the power of visual intelligence all signal that Apple's pushing the envelope. Alright, we've talked about some of the amazing new features in iOS 18.2, but now let's address an Apple Intelligence feature that's been causing quite a bit of confusion: the notification summary. If you've noticed that some of your notification summaries sound a bit off, you're not alone. Apple's new feature, designed to summarize your messages using AI, was meant to be a time saver, but let's just say, it's still a work in progress. Released in iOS 18.1, Notification Summary was intended to quickly summarize incoming texts so you could stay on top of your conversations at a glance. And while the feature works well for summarizing long emails or calendar invites, it doesn't always get casual text messages right. In fact, this AI feature has had a hard time distinguishing between lighthearted humor, sarcasm, and more serious content. Just recently, a colleague received a message about a difficult hike, where a friend joked they felt dead after climbing. Apple Intelligence took that literally and reported that the hike was fatal. It's clear Apple Intelligence takes things a bit too literally, and it's created a lot of funny, and sometimes unsettling, notifications. The internet has been buzzing with stories of AI summaries going hilariously or horribly wrong. On one popular subreddit, users have been sharing some truly bizarre summaries from Apple Intelligence, where the AI misinterprets slang, exaggerations, and even sarcasm. While the feature can be useful when you're inundated with messages and need to filter out what's important, Apple's AI isn't quite there yet in understanding the nuances of human communication. Now, if you want to try this feature out, there are a few steps involved. First, you'll need to join the Apple Intelligence waitlist if you haven't already, and once you're in, you can test out message summaries along with other features like object removal in photos. But fair warning, if you rely on the notification summary to keep up with messages, remember that it can misinterpret some pretty harmless messages in strange ways. You might want to check your actual texts before taking action based on these summaries. The reason behind Apple's AI waitlist, by the way, is interesting. AI processing is incredibly demanding. Think about it, when companies like Google or OpenAI roll out AI features, they often rely on vast networks of servers to handle the load. Apple uses its private cloud compute (PCC) modules for some Apple Intelligence tasks, which allows Apple to process requests securely and keep your data private. But with the high demand for these new features, Apple's careful about scaling up server access gradually to avoid overloading their systems. So if you're still on the waitlist, this phased rollout is Apple's way of ensuring quality and stability as they continue to refine their AI features. And while Notification Summary isn't quite as reliable as we'd like, it actually highlights the promise of passive AI on mobile devices. With features like this, Apple's goal is to bring convenience without you having to dig through settings or hunt down specific functions. Ideally, AI like this would help you catch up on messages at a glance, whether from your friends, coworkers, or family, and understand the context without missing a beat. Right now, however, it's a reminder that AI still has a long way to go in fully understanding human conversation. So there you have it, Apple's latest leap into AI with iOS 18.2, its exciting plans for the future, and the occasional quirks we're seeing with Notification Summary. From the powerful new servers and M4 chip upgrades to features like Genmoji, visual intelligence, and even ChatGPT integration, it's clear that Apple is aiming to transform how we interact with our devices. And while some features still need fine-tuning, there's no denying the potential of Apple Intelligence to make our digital lives easier, smarter, and more connected. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest in tech and AI. And here's something to think about: as Apple keeps pushing boundaries, will AI finally become a natural part of our everyday lives, or will it always be a work in progress? Let us know what you think in the comments,